Phoenix Report. Activity in Al-Shanti in northern Gaza. The past week, soldiers of the Commando Brigade, together with soldiers of the Armored Combat Engineers Corps with air support, conducted operational activity north of Al-Shati, the densest area the IDF has operated since the beginning of the fighting in Gaza. During operational activity, the Commando Brigade coordinated 54 precise strikes from the air, sea, and land, during which Hamas terrorists were eliminated in terrorist infrastructure, booby-trapped buildings, and tunnel shafts were destroyed. In parallel, the soldiers conducted operational activity at a booby-trapped hotel in northern Gaza Strip and found large stockpiles of weapons. All right, these are all body camera shots and attached of the intelligence officer in Agha's unit.
אנחנו נמצאים בתוך מ"פ שתי. בימים האחרונים אנחנו מנהלים פה לחימה עיקשת למול חמאס. בעצם בימים האחרונים מצאנו תשתיות טרור, אמל"ח, כגון נשקים, פירים, שהיו קרובים וסמוכים ליד מקומות חינוך. המטרה שלנו היא בסופו של דבר להגיע לכל פעיל חמאס באשר הוא.
Well, these boys are definitely in some real dense fighting, and it looks like things are winding down in the north. There seems to be more humanitarian thought during heavy fighting. The body of Yehudit Weiss, who was abducted by the Hamas terror organization, was extracted by IDF troops from a structure adjacent to the Shifa hospital in the Gaza Strip and was transferred to Israeli territory. In the structure which Yehudit was located, military equipment including Kalashnikov rifles and RPGs were also found. Following that identification process that was conducted by military and rabbinate personnel, together with the Institute of Forensic Medicine and the Israeli police, they informed the family of Yehudit Weiss. Peace be upon her home. This is footage of the commandos and the engineer corps and their latest operations around Al-Shanti. There was some rockets found underneath the beds of children, and they're using strollers to transport weapons, apparently. The recording coming up in a second. Following a report regarding sirens that sounded in Arab al-Aramishi and Adamat in northern Israel, a number of mortar shells launched from Lebanon toward Israel and fell in open areas. The IDF is striking the source of the launch in Lebanon. So IDF fighter jets struck several Hezbollah terror targets in Lebanon, including terrorist infrastructure, weapons storage facility, and military structure. In addition, the IDF struck a terrorist cell identified in Lebanon in the area of Arab al-Aramishi. Furthermore, several launches toward areas in Malakaya and Manarain in northern Israel are identified. The IDF is responding with fire towards the sources of the launches. So that's continuing on. IDF took control of a stronghold of the commander of the Islamic Jihad's northern command area. The stronghold contains offices, senior terrorists of the organization, and a strategic manufacturing site for weapons. During the raid, the troop located heavyweight rockets, UAVs, and additional weapons. The troops struck the post. In addition, IDF troops activity inside a school, which is all footage here. The body of IDF soldier Corporal Noah Marciano, who was abducted by the Hamas terrorist organization, was extracted by the IDF troops from a structure adjacent to the Shifa hospital in the Gaza Strip and was transferred to Israeli territory. Following an identification process that was conducted by military rabbinate personnel, the IDF representatives informed her family that her body was extracted and returned to Israeli territory. The IDF sends its heartfelt, and so do I, condolences to the family who will continue to support them. The national task before our eyes is to locate the missing and return an abducted person's home. The IDF is operating alongside and in full cooperation with the relevant national security institutions in order to pursue these tasks. We will not cease in this mission until it is completed. The Chief of Defense Staff, he's coming up there, and one of his quotes are, "We are close to dismantling the military system in northern Gaza Strip. As far as we are concerned, we will continue to other areas." So his statement is coming up First, here's evidence by the intelligence communities of the Hamas using baby strollers.
هن اللي وصلنا استلمت. طب كيف شاب يصل لك يقابلك عشان الغرض؟ متى هو بيتحرك؟ العشاء على اساس انه يقدر يتحرك فيه لو جاب كروسه معاه كروسه اطفال ايش يقدر يتحرك. سمعني اسمع على صلاة المغرب بالضبط.
אנחנו נמצאים בבית חנון, חדר שכתוב עליו בייבי גרל כמובן. מתחת למיטה של הבייבי גרל יש לנו פה ערימות של רקטות. מתחת למיטה בכל הבית סך הכל מצאנו גם עוד פגזים ועוד תחמושת ועוד המון נשקים,
מטענים,
חגורת נפץ, ערכת הפעלה, נשק קצר, סלולר, ערימות של אמל"ח.
Yeah, so the IDF is looking at the northern areas they're saying they're wrapping them up, and there are a couple cities of the south where obviously there's some Hamas activity, more isolated, and what we're going to see from the United Nations and everything is actually, boots on the ground from United Nations or NATO people or some of these Arabian countries to go in there. Besides the United Arab Emirates, they set up a field hospital. Jordan has done some drops, but it needs to be a major international support. And honestly, I think the United Arab Emirates is stepping up the most in this. Leave your comments down below. What other countries you think are involved besides just rhetoric. But here's the commander giving his speech and, hoorah for the boys. Check it out.
ההתפתחות קדימה של המערכה. תראו מה שאתם עשיתם כאן על הגדודים האלה, מה ש-36 עשו ו-252 בסוף. אנחנו די קרובים להשמיד את המערכת הצבאית שהייתה בצפון הרצועה. נשלים את זאת, יש לנו השלמות לעשות, אבל מתקרבים לזה יפה. צה"ל הולך להמשיך את המהלכים ברצועת עזה, וככל שזה תלוי בנו, עוד אזור ועוד אזור, והולך להרוג את המפקדים ולהרוג את הפעילים ולהשמיד את התשתיות. עשיתם את זה עד עכשיו מצוין, קחו את הלמידה שיש מאחוריכם עכשיו, כמעט 3 שבועות, תעשו את זה עוד יותר טוב.